Hey Nando, well, heck of a lap, heck of a day really. You've looked fast all day long. How does it feel to go and take that pole and get the first one for McLaren this year?
Sure.
I know you love this track as well. I know that from that first lap it felt good, but how quickly did you realise you were going to be in the fight kind of this weekend from the step that you didn't make?
Just by the end of FP1, honestly, like it was just close between a lot of people. Red Bull seemed quick, Ferrari seemed quick, Mercedes seemed quick. So it seemed like, the old days when it was just 4 teams, and it could be any of them in a way. But we seemed to take a good little step forward into quali, and especially Q1, I just felt confident. But it was still close, It wasn't like I was P1, so I felt good confidence, and I knew if I just put together a good last lap, that we would be up there. But I was a bit more surprised by the gap still. So. A lot of good things, a lot of positives. Very happy for the team. It's like I said, it's nice to reward them with something so quickly. So it is just a sprint quali, so nothing to be overly proud of in some ways, but still a long weekend out of us,
But still, great starting spot for tomorrow. Reckon you've got what it takes to take the win tomorrow?
We'll see. It's hard to know what everyone does in long runs and everything. So it's still, like I said, a long weekend. Many things can happen, but we started as well as we could have asked for, So. Plenty of good things, and if we're this quick in quali, normally you'd expect to continue that into long runs. Sorry.
That's right.
There's plenty of unknowns yet. It's still a new car for us, so we're still learning things on the go. We're still trying to exploit things, and I'm sure we'll make some improvements into tomorrow qualifying, but for now I'm happy, so that's all.
Oscar, well, the McLaren looked fast out there today. How are you feeling about where you ended up in P3 today?
Reasonably happy, obviously. I think improved for myself.
So based on all of that, from what you've learned today, you reckon you can be in the fight, for the rest of the weekend beyond the sprint tomorrow?
We'll wait and see. I think the potential is there. Yes, we didn't luck into the result today, so we'll have to wait and see. I'm expecting Mercedes to still be very strong, but they've not looked quite as dominant this weekend so far. So. We'll see if that stays true into tomorrow.
Was that a bit of a surprise, both their pace and also the Ferraris?
Yeah, definitely. I think, the Ferrari has looked very quick at points this year, and, Charles has looked very quick all day, so it wasn't a massive surprise, especially with the amount of upgrades they've brought. I think we all expected Mercedes to still be the benchmark, so let's wait and see for tomorrow first.
Well, Kimi, I thought you were going to be in the fight there for pole right at the end. Just talk me through how that session unfolded and how you felt that last lap went out there.
Yeah, it was.
McLarens, the Ferraris, they both brought quite substantial upgrades.
Yeah, I know. We definitely we felt we were expecting this weekend to be quite a bit tougher. Also because those teams, everyone brought major upgrades. Which obviously they closed the gap massively or even went in front of us. So definitely, the McLarens, they got the same PU as us and they improved a lot the car. So was expected for them to be at the front. I think we can be in the fight. And, that's what we're going to try to do tomorrow and then on Sunday.
Hey, George, it just felt like you guys were just generally a little bit off today. Can you just talk me through FP1 and your kind of feelings after not quite making it through to the front rank today?
Yeah, pretty surprising. Let's see what tomorrow brings.
What were the key struggles today? What kind of was the feel? Where were you feeling like you were kind of missing something?
I was just overheating my tyres a lot in that twisty section in the middle. I was struggling to get the right balance with the car. Not much more to say than that really. As I said, just being quite surprised by the progress of the others. But another day tomorrow.
And do you think it will take a lot to take the fight to them tomorrow?
I don't know. I'm not in a great starting position. Sprint races generally don't offer that much, but obviously, China was a bit more interesting this year, which gives an opportunity to have a bit of a race. So, I want to get off the line, hopefully don't lose any more positions, and see what we can do.
Best luck tomorrow.
Hi, Max. It looks like you've made a big step with the car. I know it's not where you want to be yet, but does it feel like you've made a big step coming?
Let's say that.
And does it feel better driving? Because I know in the past you've said various things on the radio, just things you need from the car. Does it feel better and suit you better now? Or
feels a bit more normal, a bit more together. It's still not where I want it to be, obviously, but it's at least allowing me to trust it a bit more, and I can basically take a bit more lap time out of it.
Thank you. Thanks very much. How did you find that? I know you'd want to be closer to your teammates, so tell me about the session, how it panned out for you in the end. Go back and have a look and work with the team and try and see if you can find it.
Yeah, because I know I can drive, so yeah.
How did you find the updates that you've brought?
Upgrades are fine. It's just that everybody brought up.
Is the performance worse than it has been the first 3 races, or just no better at all?
No, it's the same car, and the others, they did some improvements in Japan and here in Miami especially. So yeah, probably we fall a little bit behind the others, a little bit with a bigger gap. But yeah, we accept that, and our program for the year is a little bit different than the others, and we need to stay calm.
Hey Lance, well obviously a tough weekend with no upgrades on the car. How was that first lap out? We saw you had a momentary stop on the track.
Yeah, some brake issues. I don't know exactly what it was, so we're still looking into it.
How frustrating is that? Obviously you haven't really got much lap time out there today, have you?
Yeah, I was hoping we were going to do a lap or two, but we had the issue, so there was no laps today.
And I know it was a bit of a slow start this morning in practice, but did you get to learn much about the car in the laps you did get? I guess you got 20 odd laps in.
Not too much. A lot of the same issues we've been having all year.
Valtteri, how was the car feeling? And I know various teams have got different numbers of upgrades, but yours, did they seem to be working?
The car feels better. So
what were the issues that you were encountering today?
Yeah, basically I think we went out too late, and then we just didn't have enough time for refueling and go back again. So given that we went out a little bit too late, that was the issue.
And through practice as well, were there more issues there as well, trying to get the lap time in?
Yeah, practice we also lost track time, issues with the engine and so on. So yeah, still a bit on the back foot, but the pace is looking more promising, which is the most important factor.
Hey Liam, obviously frustrating to get knocked out in that first part of sprint quality. Just talk me through how that unfolded and whether or not you felt like if something else had changed, you could have got through.
Yeah, no, it was just...
I think it's pretty good.
Just what was so difficult about this morning? What did the car kind of feel like to make it feel...
Well, we had a few issues. We had some issues with the brakes. We had some... I had a few problems basically on my car, so we changed a lot basically just for a sanity check in quali. But obviously I was going in with pretty low confidence. I think I was like 1.5 seconds off my teammate in FP1. I was struggling just to drive the thing. So to be honest, to be competitive now is just a bit of a relief off my shoulders.
And does it feel like the issues you've cured gives you better hope for the rest of the weekend because now you've got a better baseline car?
Yeah, it felt a lot more normal now. So a big thanks to the team for going to that effort. I mean, it's a very short time between FP1 and sprint quali. So to get all those changes done, I'm very thankful. And then we have work to do. We were quite far from SQ3 or even just from the cars ahead. So. I'm going to look at myself, see what I can improve, and then also on the car side we'll be looking ahead to quali tomorrow, but firstly focusing on the sprint.
Gabby, fractions in it to get through today. Just sum up how you're feeling right now.
Yeah, obviously a bit disappointed that
tomorrow.
I know this track is a bit different, but were you able to feel the benefit of any of the tweaks that were made during the break?
It's tough to say. I mean, the one thing that we felt so far is probably the automatic launch. Before we had to be very within 1 or 2% of throttle target before going flat out, so we didn't deploy the battery too early. Now it's a bit more automatic, let's say. So in terms of safety and to be honest, user friendliness, that's a big step forward.
I know you had that lock-up. Was that what put paid? Could you have got through to Q2 without that, or did you get everything out of the car?
We'll never know, unfortunately. I think.
And you see how many upgrades they've brought. You must be keen to get your own upgrades, I guess, on the car and your own package. Do you know when you might be able to do that?
I don't think, that's obviously upgrades will help, when we put them on the car, but ideally, we would have done a better job on our side, which this is not, I feel, what we've done. So, we need to do a better job on our side and get the maximum out of the car first before talking about, obviously, getting more performance with the upgrade.
Kaya mo na ako, Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. What a spring qualifying session we just had in Miami. This was absolute chaos in the best way that we can thought about. McLaren just locked out on P1 and P3, and we have a rookie in the mix in the second place, and we have our Max in P5, and then we have P4 Leclerc, and afterwards we have Hamilton, and these are some seriously shocking results. Plus the drivers have now spoken, so We are just going to break down everything what we heard from the drivers and their reactions right after the session of spring qualifying in Miami Grand Prix. In the front row, we have Norris and Antonelli. Lando was pushing the car all the way in the final session, in the final seconds, let's say like that. He just took the sprint pole, and this wasn't just a lucky thing. It was all controlled by himself, and he had the car to execute that perfect session. After the session, he said that the car has been strong all weekend, and then they had just had to put it all together when it mattered the most. You can hear in his tone that he knows they've got the pace, but the real headline is that they'll still have a lot of room for improvement. In the other hand, we have the rookie that is P2, and he is performing really, really well all this season on the race that we have, and is really surprising. He delivered really good results also under pressure, and his reaction was ice cold. He said that he's building confidence step by step and felt comfortable pushing the car. No hype, no nerves, and no stress. He was just in control of the car, and he pushed the car as much as he could by not making any mistakes to overthrow that session that he did. And to tell the truth, that's really dangerous to see on some other perspective, because it means he's only getting started, and he has really good potential. It reminds me on the other early days of Max Verstappen, even though Max is Max, you know. We have Piastri, and he actually said that the lap wasn't even clean, which is scary because he also is not that happy with the upgrades that McLaren just brought to the Miami Grand Prix, even though he didn't express it with all his will. But you can see it how he just did the interview by himself. That means that McLaren might have even more pace than what we saw today on the spring qualifying. Right now they're not chasing anymore. They're just setting the pace, bringing every piece of the puzzle, putting it all together, and trying to be the most competitive team, and being the right rival for Mercedes. But we don't have just yet to underestimate Ferrari. We have Charles on P4 and Lewis on P7, and Leclerc just sounded a little bit frustrated, even though he didn't say any kind of that word. But from his expression, and while he was doing the interview, he mentioned that they're missing something in the final part of the lap. That usually means that the traction or the tire drop off. So they're having a little bit of problem with the tire management, because in the mediums they were like flying, and then the moment they put the soft tires, everything just changed, and then they started becoming slower. So not too much of potential on those tires, but Leclerc said that we need to sit down now and see why the car is behaving that way with the soft tires. Hamilton, on the other hand, was more calm and talking about progress and understanding the car better. So Ferrari is in that position where they're close but not extracting everything yet. Hamilton was really let's say hopeful. He had a lot of hopes, and he was all positive about the execution that he did with the car today. And he said that they are going to study hard the car. Why did it behave like that in the soft tires? So generally, both of the drivers had the same answers, but Leclerc was much more frustrated about that thing that happened with the soft tires. Max. After the session, he didn't blame traffic, didn't blame mistakes. He went straight to the point. He said that balance isn't right there at the moment. We're lacking grip, but he said that he is really happy with the car right now because with the upgrades that they brought, he said that now I can start believing the car much more and start pushing the car much more, and I can start feeling the car in me just like I needed to, because the new upgrades that Red Bull had brought to Miami Grand Prix had made the car a little bit more faster and a little bit more grippier. But he still is not happy, and that's a really bad thing for Red Bull, to tell you the truth, because when Max says that, it usually means the problem is real. Still, it's Max Verstappen. If anyone can turn this around in the sprint, I hope it's him, because Max does magics, and hopefully we'll have a beautiful sprint from his side. George Russell, he sounded a little bit positive, but he was not happy with the progress that he did. He said that he was pushing as hard as he could with that car, but in general he wasn't happy with the result, because he, from my own perspective, I'm saying this, he got used to winning in a couple of first races, and in those races he was like, oh, we have the best car and things like that, and then now things are turning around and he just like, oh yeah, we will need to see and what happened to the car, because he's not blaming himself, that he's not that kind of driver that can do magic just like Max does with a broken car, let's say like that. But he just needs the perfect car, or let's say he needs the fastest car so he can win something or be in front row. Unfortunately, now we see that McLaren has gotten into the mix. We have Ferraris pushing every race, and he is just left behind. And also, what is the best thing is that his teammate is also overthrowing him. Antonelli is better than George. My own thought. Then we got Colapinto on P8, one of his best sessions, let's say. He said that the car felt great and everything clicked. He said that from all the races that he raced in 2026, this was his best feeling for the car, and he said that I just felt one with the car, and I loved it. Pierre Gasly in P10, he also hinted that there's small pace in the Alpine. He said that the upgrades that they have brought to today in this Grand Prix, not just today. I'm sorry. In this Grand Prix, what the upgrade that they have brought, it made the car much more balanced and much more competitive. But he also said that I'm not giving myself hopes. I'm just going to do my job and keep on racing the best way I know with a car that now it feels like it has potential to do things that we hadn't in the first races in 2026. Hajar was really pushing that car, and he was P9, calm, clean, focused, and always learning. He is tight and he is confident. That boy has potential to win races because he knows how to drive, he knows how to risk, and he knows when to push the gas pedal. And to tell the truth, he said that I feel great. I feel really good with the car. I am really happy with the results at the moment, but not happy in general. As in, if you know what I mean. He also said that he's going to improve. Also, the car needs a lot of improvement, and he's going to work with the engineers tight to build up a really fast car, so he can push and let's say compete with the front row. For the Audis, I don't know what to say. They both missed the top 10. Bartoletto was P11 and Hulkenberg was P12. But both of the drivers said that the car is feeling even better comparing to the other races, because now the car has a balance that it really missed in a couple of races that we passed. He said that Bartoletto said that comparing to Japan Grand Prix, in Miami, a car feels much more faster for a couple of hundredths of a second. And he said that we are happy at the moment with the car. We are happy with the tire management and things like that. Hulkenberg overall had the same thoughts about the team and the car. He just hopes that he will keep driving like this, and hopefully, finger crossed, the car won't break down. And both of them are focused at the moment on small margins, basically saying that Q3 was within reach. This is the team building quietly but steadily. Struggling in the pack, furthermore down, we have Sainz in P15 complaining about the balance issue. He had really big issues with locking the car, locking the rear end in a couple of corners, and he wasn't really happy. Also, he said that he need to sit and see where he made mistakes, or see where the car is not performing well. He needs to see where they can find that balance and improve the car on those matters. And also he complained a little bit about not executing his car in the right moment, and he wasn't blaming just himself and the car. He was blaming also the engineers that put him on those moments to compete. Ocon, on the other hand, mentioned the traffic but also lack of pace. He said that the car is not good at the moment from his own perspective, even though they brought slightly small updates and upgrades to the car. But he said that the car needs also a lot of improvements. He also needs to understand better the car so he can be much more competitive in the sprint or in the qualifying. He said that in the long term the car feels great, but in the short term the car just lacks power, and it doesn't do the thing that he wants the car to do. Racing Bulls, on the other hand, with Limbaugh and Lawson still developing but still inconsistent. Both of the drivers weren't really happy with the upgrade the team brought, because the car feels a little bit fishy, as they said. The car feels not good, not fast, but not slow. In the other hand, but still. Both of the drivers were hoping that they will be much more higher than they are at the moment. But overall, they said that they are still improving and they are still developing the car and working tight with the engineers to bring out the best car that they can bring. Now we move on to the bigger story, and that is Cadillac and Aston Martin at the back. Both of the teams were catastrophic. We know about Aston Martin, but Cadillac, I didn't expect that. Bottas said that the team is new. They are still learning throughout the way, because 2026 for them is the learning year, not the competing year. So they are learning much more about this sport. The Cadillac engineers and the Cadillac team in overall, Bottas said that they are building up a team that can compete for years and years. So they are looking the long term, the long term. And the other hand, Perez said that he couldn't get the tires into the right window. He was just locking up, and he couldn't feel that performance of the car. So he said that the team has a lot of room for improvement, but those improvements are going to come with the time being. So yeah, Aston Martin still having the same problem with the car. The engine just is like a volcano, trying to blow any moment. And he said that the both drivers wouldn't hold him back. Then they especially Alonso said that this is not acceptable. We need answers quickly. We need results. We need a car that I can go and compete and be in the mix. I don't want to be in the end. He was just frustrated, but also he was trying to keep himself positive. He was trying to keep himself not getting out of control. About Stroll, I don't know what to talk about him. He's not serious enough for the driver for me. He just talked 2 or 3 words, and he said that it was really difficult weekend for him, and the situation at Aston Martin with the car that is not working. It's a serious situation that it needs to be dealt with, and it needs to have an answer. It needs to be resolved. This problem needs to have a resolving. Overall, that was the whole thing that happened, and the drivers that they set, putting everything together. That McLaren knows that they're fast. Antonelli is keeping Mercedes on his shoulders and already delivering. Ferrari knows they're close, but they know how to be even closer. Red Bull knows something is off, and Max is putting the pressure up on them, and some other teams are already on pressure. The sprint race, for me, is already open. It's wide open. We don't know who's going to be the winner, because every driver fights. Every driver fights, and it's going to be really interesting. If you have any comment or predictions that we can talk about, I read all the comments. Drop your prediction down in the comment. Like the video and subscribe, please, because we need that big support from you guys, so we can do more F1 content. And if you like our content, please like and subscribe the video. And I don't have nothing to say. See you on the next one.